A year of waiting, but Euro 2020 is finally here, and is it finally time for football to come home? Or will it be that football está llegando a casa, es como nach Hause, Salento a la maison, Eve Gilior, or even come home? It's the false90s Euro 2020 Preview. With me today, we've just got Kyle, because everyone else has fucked off.
Yeah, but I like that intro, man. Fair play. Wow, I must take a wee bit of research for that.
Yeah, it's just like 2 minutes on Google Translate.
Fair play, though, man. Fair play.
But we'll start with the news in Scotland, is that Ange Postecoglou has been appointed as Celtic manager. We talked about him in the last pod, but it's been confirmed today. Obviously, you're a Rangers fan, Kyle, but what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I don't want to comment anything before he's even started the job. So, but obviously, I think it's one of Celtic's. It's not their first choice. I'll say that. Obviously, they wanted Eddie Howe in, but they got Ange Postecoglou. Obviously, there's a few Rangers players who ex Socceroos, and they're saying that he's actually quite a good manager, like very attacking minded. So. Obviously, I'm not gonna judge anything before he's even started the job. But as a Rangers fan, you've kind of got to be happy that they've not got their main man. So I mean, he's kind of well unknown. So he might end up like being really good, or he might end up being like a Pedro Caixinha. But you'll never know until he started the job, mate. Until he gets his first taste of Scottish football, how completely different it is to probably what he experienced over in Japan. But we need to find out. In his first game, maybe his first goal from Derby, but it'll be interesting next season anyway. But right now we're not focused on that at the moment. So
it's also interesting as well because he hasn't managed in Europe before, which is out there.
I don't think he had his pro license, did he? But
no,
I think
so
they made
there
an
were
exception.
reports that he couldn't get the Celtic job because he hadn't had his pro license. That Celtic have applied for some kind of exception. But obviously he hasn't done his UEFA pro license. But I'm pretty sure he's done his pro license in Asia, so
yeah,
it's got like the equivalent but not the same.
No, it would definitely be interesting next season anyway. Obviously there need to be a complete revamp. I think this is more of like a project than like a goal thing. I think that's what he said, and that's what a lot of people have played under him in the national team have said. This is not going to be like a first thing, like go, like we're going to go for this and that. Obviously he's got to have his aims as well. I think obviously they need to try and take the title off us this season, or next season, sorry. But it'll be interesting anyway. See what he does, see what players he brings. He might bring in some players from over in Japan, maybe some from Australia nationals. Yeah, but it'll be interesting to find out anyway. I'll definitely make the Scottish game interesting to see, and may definitely make Twitter a good place to be. So
yeah, it'll definitely be interesting next season. It does bring something different to Celtic. They didn't go for someone like Roy Keane or rehire Neil Lennon. They did go for something out there which you kind of got to commend them for, but we'll see if it pays off or not. It's
something I do, yeah.
But we'll move on now, because tomorrow is the kickoff of Euro 2020 on the 11th of June 2021. And we've got a little bit of previews, so we did have everyone kind of do their own previews, but it's just us two, so we're doing...
thanks, guys. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Literally just us two going through every team. But we'll start with Group A. And in that... I actually have to look who's in it.
My team play first.
Yes, so the first game is between Turkey and Italy, and... Turkey was one of your teams in the sweepstakes.
Yes, it was. You'll probably find out later on that I have the worst sweepstake there is. So I think we've all got 4 teams. I think I'll just recap. We've all got 4 teams, and we just wrote like reviews on like who's their top player, how they got there, and like previous Euros, and also where do you think that we'll personally think they'll finish. So I had Turkey in mind. And Turkey have participated in 4 UEFA Championships so far. Obviously, the upcoming tournament this year. The first finals they qualified was in Euro 96, and their best performance was to date reaching the semi-finals of 2008 by winning their quarter-final match against Croatia on penalties.
I was going to say, I remember that Turkey game because that was Croatia scored what was the winner in like the 120th minute, and then
Yeah,
Turkey scored an equaliser in like the 122nd minute.
Well, I wasn't born, so
In 2008?
I wasn't born for that. Oh no, 2008. Oh, I was talking about 96. No, 2008. I don't remember that. Nah, I don't remember that. I can't. I remember 2010, the World Cup. That was it. But that's my first probably got in it while watching England and stuff like that. But I don't remember 2008. No, I don't remember that. But yeah, I've got down. There's a key player as Burak Yilmaz.
Yilmaz, yeah.
Yeah, Yilmaz. He's 35 and he's the first choice striker and also the oldest member of the squad. He's second in the national team's all-time goal scoring chart, so he always carries that goal threat for Turkey. And throughout his career, he's averaged a goal every 2 games, and he's still netting frequently for Lille, obviously the French champions, which is quite impressive for a 35-year-old striker, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's one of his first times he's playing outside of Turkey as well, and he's netting quite a few goals at the age of 35, which is impressive.
Definitely one to watch out for, anyway. And I've predicted them to finish second in the group, and I've got them to go out in the last 8. And for my predictions, I've got them going out by getting beat off Portugal. So I think they'll be happy with that. To be fair, if that does happen,
yeah, I think they're probably dark horses. Probably not to go all the way, but there are.
They're definitely one to watch out for. Yeah, definitely. It'll be good to obviously to watch them against Italy, isn't it?
Italy in the first game, which is tomorrow. Actually, read today by the time you listen to this, and Italy was not on my list. I think he was one of Lewis's.
Don Lewis is right. I'll need to check which one. Right, so Italy have won the Euros in 1968 and more recently finishing runners-up in the year 2000 and 2012. So for Lewis said that the key player is Chelsea, is it?
It's Chiesa, Federico
Chiesa. Yeah, man. He's a promising young winner who can bag goals from just about anywhere on the pitch and supply the ball to the likes of Immobile. He thinks Italy will reach the semi-finals, and yeah, that's all all Lewis has said for that.
Yeah, I think I've actually got money on Italy to win it. So
really,
yeah,
if they've not lost, have they not got some ridiculous stat on the manager or something?
So they haven't lost at home in ages. Obviously, they're going to be playing most of the group stage games at home. And I think they conceded only 2 goals in qualifying or something like that.
Wow. I've got them to go to the semi-finals, but then obviously end up losing against France. So that's one of my spoilers who I've got in the final.
Nice.
But,
also in that group we've got Wales. Let's see who's that is.
Not on my list, mate.
He's one of Marcus's. So their only appearance was in 2016, and they got all the way to the semi-finals. If you remember, they beat Belgium along the way 3-1.
Yep.
Before losing 2-0 to Portugal in the semi-final. So the key player is Gareth Bale. Obviously, he's their best player, but he's not as prolific as he was in 2016. Hasn't been as good. But they'll probably look to the likes of Dan James, Joe Rosen, Ethan Ampadu as kind of the young blood coming through. Predicted finish, I said that probably they'll go out in the group stage, probably finish bottom of that group.
Yeah.
Just because
who's in the group again?
So it's Italy, Turkey, Wales, and Switzerland.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't think the squad isn't as strong. Got
that young winger. What's his name? Ben somebody, isn't it?
Yeah, they called someone up. I can't remember who it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think their squad's as strong, and I think it's just going to be a disappointing bottom finish. I mean, they're still.
We hope one of the home nations get through, but all the home nations get through, but. You never know. They could pull off something.
Yeah. And Switzerland. And they were one of Gary's, I think. I think I've got that. So the best finish is getting to the round of 16 in 2016 after finished. They got knocked out in the groups in 96, 2004, and 2008. the key player, I'd say Xherdan Shaqiri. Who always turns it on in these big international tournaments. If you remember, like back in 2016, 2014 World Cup as well, even 2018 as well, the World Cup.
Yep.
He always turns it on, scores goals. Also, Brilliant Bolo's had a good season at Gladbach. He's 24 now. He should start coming onto the scene. So yeah, have a look at him as well. Always a hard team to beat, Switzerland. But Turkey, I think, are better than them at the moment.
Yeah, I would say so. I think so. I think Turkey will have a good. I think they'll have a decent Euros.
Yeah, so
that's why they always want to watch, which I'll definitely be watching tomorrow anyway.
So
I think they'll get beat, but
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how well they play and how they set up.
Yeah, so I think Switzerland finished third in the group. I think they'll still be one of the best third place teams.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, but probably they'll go out round the 16.
See what I've got them in. I've not got them to go through, I don't think. No, I've not got them to go through. Third place, but obviously, yeah.
Move on now to Group B. And in that group are Denmark, hosting 3 games in Copenhagen.
Mm-hmm. Who's got Denmark?
Denmark is one of Gary. Gary's as well. So that's mine. So they won it in '92. Obviously, shock winners in '92. They didn't even qualify, and yet they still won it. But they didn't qualify for 2016. And knocked out in the group stage in 2012. Key player, they've got a few. They've got Højbjerg, Eriksson, Thomas Delaney as well. But I've gone for Yusuf Poulsen, who's a key player at Leipzig, one of their strikers.
Yeah.
But he often goes under the radar. Like a lot of people seem to forget about him when they're talking about Denmark. I think he's a really good player. Could get goals. He scored in the World Cup in 2018. So I think he's gonna do well here. They should get out of this group, so they're in a group B with Finland, Belgium and Russia, so they should really get out of that. Round of 16 probably, quarterfinals if they're lucky, but I'd say they're going out in the round of 16.
Yeah. Who's this again?
This is Denmark.
I've got them to go through, and I've got them playing Turkey, but then I've got Turkey to go through.
I think I've got that as well.
Yeah.
Also in that group we've got Finland.
Yeah, it's one of mine. So Finland have only qualified once for the European Championships, obviously this year. So congratulations to Finland. They directly qualified after securing a second spot in the qualifying group with one group match remaining. This meant they would appear on a major tournament final for the first time in their history. And I've got a key player as Teemu Pukki. He's the Norwich striker. He scored 10 of Finland's 16 goals in qualifying and is their spearhead of the team's attack. Pukki makes clever runs behind the defensive line and scores from high percentages of his chances. He can also create space up front for his teammates, he also tracks back tirelessly. So he seems like a really good player. Does all over the pitch considering he's a striker.
Yeah, I think he scored quite a few goals in the Championship as well this season, which is a good confidence boosting.
I've also got another one to watch as well. Is obviously I'm going to say Glenn Kamara, of course. Just what he's done with Rangers this season, and he's done some absolutely phenomenal stuff for Finland. He's always trying to beat a man and always trying to start that attack really quick. So I think I'd love to see them two link up potentially.
I was going to say Finland have got a good spine because they've got that Hideki in goal as well. Yeah. So they've got Hideki, Kamara and Pukki. That's a decent spine. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've got them. Obviously, I hate to say I've got them finishing last in their group. I don't think they'll qualify.
Yeah, I think it's a tough group, tough ask for them in their first tournament.
Yeah, but I'm definitely going to be watching them, obviously. You can see how well Glenn Kamara does. Yeah.
And also in that group, got Belgium. They faced Russia in their first game on Saturday, sorry. So Belgium was one of mine.
Yes.
So Belgium, they got to the semi-finals in 1972 and they got to the final in 1980, but they lost both games 2-1 to West Germany. And then in 2016 they got to the quarterfinals. They lost 3-1 to Wales, which was disappointing for them. Best player, I said De Bruyne, but I did write this before the Champions League final, so he might miss a game or two, but might not, depending on how his injury comes up. They did say at first it'd be a bad one, but I think signs are saying he's looking to come back. If not, I said Lukaku scored 24 in 36 for Inter in the league this season. I also said Eden Hazard as well, because he hasn't had the best of times at Real Madrid, but I think if he had a good tournament here, could turn around his fortunes.
I definitely think Lukaku's a tender for the Golden Boot.
Oh yeah, definitely. He always scores goals, and if De
Don't have
Bruyne is
enough
playing,
management.
if De Bruyne is supplying balls to Lukaku, they're going to get a lot of goals.
Yeah, definitely.
Predicted finish, I have them going only to the quarters again.
Really?
Being knocked out by Italy.
Yeah, I've got them. Yeah, also knocked out by Italy.
But I think this is probably the last chance for this team, because there are a lot of players who are getting older.
Yeah.
Maybe 2022 World Cup. That's only 18 months away. But I think
Never know.
This will be that last performance. They might put on a last dance performance and go to win it, but I think they'll go out in the quarters.
Yeah, they're definitely not ones to write off. But if they're up against Italy, obviously that's going to be a really good game anyway. But I think we both have Italy going through for that one.
Yeah.
So.
And also in this group, the final team in Group B is Russia.
Yes, one of mine.
One of yours.
Yes, so Russia have participated in 11 UEFA European Championships. The second most among all the participants of the Euro, after Germany, of course. 5 of which were as Soviet Union, and 1 of which was the CIS, and the rest obviously as Russia. And as the Soviet Union, their best performance was they actually won it in France 1960. Well, the best performance as Russia came in Austria/Switzerland 2008, where they reached the semi-finals. Yeah, it's pretty not ones to write off either, but obviously I think now it's a bit different. They've not got the players that they had back then, but I also have the key player as Artem Zhubla. He's a 32-year-old who remains a vital part of the team no matter how they play. The 2021 Russian Premier League top goal scorer with 20 goals. He's definitely a default target for one of the team's attacks. He's really good on the ball, despite his size. He shields it really well. It's a bit like what Alfredo does. He can shoot and create opportunities for teammates. He plays for Zenit, and he's also a constant headache for defenders.
I was going to say he had a good World Cup in 2018. So
yeah. And I have Russia finishing 3rd in the group. But I have them not going through as 3rd place.
Yeah. This one's going to be tough for them. They could go through, but
they could go through. Yeah.
But they didn't get to the quarters in the World Cup. But I think they had the fans behind them, and they're playing games at St. Petersburg. But I don't think that they're going to be as strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think so, but you can't write them off. Obviously, I think obviously it depends how many points they get in the group. But obviously, they might go through as best 3rd place, but I would never know. I don't see it. That's why I put them not as going through. If they finish 3rd, it's still quite a strong. But I think their aim would be definitely to reach that last 16th place.
Yeah. Moving on now to Group C. We'll start there with the Netherlands, which is one of Marcus's. So that's I'm going for that. So they've have 5 semi-final appearances, but they won it in 1988. They didn't qualify for 2016, and they finished bottom of the group in 2012. So they've had a few poor performances, but I think they're kind of getting back to the way they were back in like 2008, 2010 kind of thing now. I've got some good players coming through. Best player, I would have said Van Dijk, but he's out injured still, and Van der Beek's also been ruled out. So they're going to look to someone like Matthias de Ligt at the back and Memphis Depay, who scored 22 goals in 40 games for Lyon this season. Depay's been linked with going to Barcelona, and Juventus and Inter, I think, are linked as well. He's like a top goal scorer in France. Yeah. He's scored a lot of goals. And it's also said as well that Ryan Gravenberch at Ajax could have a good breakout tournament. He's going to, with Van der Beek out, he could be a key part of that Dutch midfield. I said they should top this group. They could have a tough round of 16 tie, so I have them going against Italy, where they would be knocked out, but they could always win that one anyway. What do you think?
Who's this again? Sorry.
Netherlands.
Yeah, I've got them top in the group, yeah. And I've got them... Oh, no, I don't think I do have them. Netherlands. Oh, no, I do, yeah. I've got them going through and playing Portugal and then getting beat by Portugal in the round of 16. So I've got them as round of 16. But obviously, I think it's because of Dan Van Dijk's out.
They're missing a lot of key players, but they're still a good team. So
they're still forced to be better, yeah. But up against Portugal, for my opinion, I think Portugal are too strong.
Yeah, that's what I said with Italy as well. They're not quite at that top level yet, but they're still good side. Moving on now to Ukraine.
These are one of Andy's, I think.
Yeah.
So they have never made it past the group stages. After appearances in 2012 and 2016, he's got a strong player as Zinchenko. He's had a strong season at Man City and he's very versatile of a player. Andy's got them as predicted. Should get out of the group and have been strong recently. It depends on round of 16 type. I won't be surprised if quarters. So obviously, Andy's a realist here. So
they've beat Germany recently. I think they beat Spain as well. They topped their qualification group, so they've got a good team.
They do. Yeah,
as well as I said, Zinchenko's been key player at left back for Man City. He can play pretty much anywhere on the pitch, which is good for them, for Ukraine.
I've not got Ukraine going through. I don't know where I've placed them.
I've actually got them all the way going to the semis because I've got them playing Scotland in the round of 16, and then playing Turkey in the quarters, and I have them going all the way to the semis.
Yeah, so obviously their group, I think it will be obviously Netherlands top, and then I think it'll be Austria, and then I think they'll finish third, but I don't think they'll get through on the third place. I think there's other teams in there that we'll obviously get more points than them. I'm sure we'll go over them later. Yeah.
So also in that group we've got Austria, and they were one of Marcus's. So right. So they've only qualified for the Euros in 2008 and 2016, and then he went out in the group stage in both tournaments. They've never won a group stage game, so they've never won a game at the Euros. So hoping to fix that this time around. The best player, I'd say Marcel Sabitzer is one of RB Leipzig's best players. He scored goals in Europe. He scored goals in the Bundesliga. I also said as well Sasha Kaladzic, who caused a few problems for Scotland in the internationals back in, I think it was about March, for the World Cup qualifiers. He scored 2 goals in that game. He scored 17 goals in 36 this season in the Bundesliga as well. And I've predicted them to get to the round of 16, get through the group. But they've got that game against Ukraine last, which I think really could decide who goes through and who goes out. And them being knocked out by Spain in the round of 16.
Oh, do you? I've got them going through to the last 16 and then getting knocked out by Italy. That's what I've got. So I have them as, I think, second.
Yeah, I think I had them second as well, or third possibly. Yeah, I think I had them third in the group.
Yeah, it'll be interesting in that group anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty open group actually. I think anyone could advance from it. One of the teams who do hope to advance for it is North Macedonia.
Yes! The team that are going to win Euro 2020, I'm telling you right now. Putting all my money on it. But obviously, this is North Macedonia's first tournament in their entire history after a Goran Pandev goal that gave the Balkan nation a 1-0 win away to Georgia in the Euro 2020 qualifying playoff final. The key players obviously Goran Pandev. He's 37. He's a versatile striker. He's completed his 20th season in Serie A. His powers of creativity, vision, and passing undimmed. North Macedonia's captain. He's a top goal scorer, and he's the appearance record holder as well. So definitely not one to mess with.
I think he was part of that Inter squad that won the Champions League in 2010 as well. So
yeah, he's definitely not one to just write off. But he's fired the team at the finals with the playoff winner in Georgia, of course. He suggested he'll retire after Euro 2020, and I'm sure he'll be sorely missed for North Macedonia. I have them finishing. I have them as winners. Nah, I'm joking. I've got them finished last in the group, but obviously this is their first major tournament. I think that in itself is obviously big for the nation. But and obviously have some really tough games as well. So I'm sure the North Macedonian locals will enjoy that. Even just qualifying and watching their team play. But good luck to them anyway. And
yeah, definitely. I think if they get a goal, then North Macedonia's go insane.
Oh, absolute scenes, yeah, absolute scenes, mate, yeah. But no, they're definitely not right off Pandev though. Just
yeah, they've also got that Aloiski who's at Leeds as well, who's kind of impressed this season. So definitely don't cast them off. I think they could cause a shock or two. But we'll move on now to Group D. And we'll start with England, who were one of my teams who I got in the sweepstakes.
Go on,
man. So they've never won the Euros, but they made the semis in 68 and 96. They lost 1-0 to Yugoslavia in 68 and then lost on penalties to Germany in 96. I think we all know about that one.
Yeah, I've seen the highlights of that.
After a 1-0 draw. And 2016, obviously, they were knocked out in the round of 16 by Iceland.
Oh no, I was in Spain for that, watching that.
I was in Berlin for this, and the Germans were laughing. The Germans were laughing when Iceland scored. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, I remember there was one Icelandic fan, and when I were in my hotel that I was in, and he was just right at the back. And then, so many devastated England fans. And then there's this one guy who's shaking his flag. We all just told him to fuck off. Let's see your predictions of them.
So best player I've got, obviously, is Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, yeah. It's gotta be.
He's been the top goal scorer and assist maker in the Premiership this season with 23 goals and 14 assists. I also wrote down as well Phil Foden, who's had a breakout season at Man City. He's probably... I think
a player definitely to watch in this tournament for me anyway it's got to be Jack Grealish, 100%.
Yes, of course.
I
think
very impressive with him. Very impressive.
He's just coming back from injury, isn't he, from Villa? And I think
he just doesn't look like he's just been out injured. With the warm-up games, he's been absolutely exceptional.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he really could impress this season. I also put down Jude Bellingham as well, who's had a really good season at Dortmund. Impressed in that game against Man City in the Champions League, and I think if he starts games, if he gets on the pitch, I think he's going to be a star.
Yeah, definitely.
And I said they should top the group, but they will play the runners-up. I think in that group of death, so it could be a tough round 16 tie. But I think if they win that, they really could go all the way. But I have them losing in the final to France.
I've got them in the final, but I've got them winning it. I think football's coming home. I'm but obviously I think I'm gonna say my reasons for this, right? Because England do have a very, very good squad, potentially one of the best squads in Euro 2020. But obviously I think the couple in Southgate's been in charge. I think I don't think like the tactics have been there properly to beat these big teams such as Germany, Portugal, and France. But I think there's something this year with the young squad, and obviously we've got the likes of Hendel back in. Obviously, he just missed a penalty, but he will motivate the guys. I'm sure Southgate will have his tactics, and I'm obviously bringing in Ben White as well, which I found very annoying, by the way, instead of Ward-Prowse. But
that was a strange choice.
Yeah, but you can't argue with Southgate, can you? But I wouldn't say England could lose. They could lose against. I have them in the round of 16 against Germany. They could lose that.
Portugal.
Really? Okay. But I've got them against Germany, and then after that, I've got them against Spain, and then against Portugal, and then against France. So it's probably one of the worst ones. But I'm confident if England beat Germany, they'll move on to Spain potentially. This is from my predictions, and I don't think Spain are that great, but we'll go on later on. And Portugal are like a one-man team, pretty much, a two-man team. But again, Ronaldo's getting old, and Fernandes is not proven himself in the Portuguese shirt. But I've got England. I think it will come home. It'll be tough. It'll be very, very tough.
Yeah, it does look a tough route to find. But obviously, if they win the games, they're going to win it, aren't they? So,
and they've got the home advantage.
Exactly, yeah, for the semis and the final being at Wembley, which could be interesting. But
come on, England.
In the group, they come against the team that beat them in the World Cup semi-finals in 2018, and that is Croatia. And they were one of Gary's. So that's me. So I've got Croatia. The best finish was getting to the quarterfinals in 2008. And last time out, they got to the round of 16 in 2016. Key player, I've still gone for Luka Modric.
Yep.
Still maybe.
Barisic.
What about Barisic? Modric he's 35 now, so he's getting old, but he's still a key player for both Croatia and Real Madrid. He's been, pretty decent for Real Madrid in the back half of the season. Obviously getting to the Champions League semis as well. They're an ageing squad though, and they've had a few poor results in the past couple of years after the World Cup. So they should get out of the group, and I have them going out in the round of 16 to Sweden.
Mm-hmm. I have them. I was going to get my. So Croatia, I have got getting to the round of 16. I think they'll come second in the group.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I've got them up against Poland and advancing against Poland in the round of 16. And I've got them going out against France in the last 8. So I think they'll get the last 8. I think they'll be happy with that.
It'll be a strong performance. I think they got beat like 6-0 by Spain a couple of years ago, so they'll be happy to get to the quarters. And they'll hope kind of the new generation comes through soon, and they can replicate what they did in 2018. Also in this group is Scotland. This was one of Gary's, so that means I am taking this. Obviously, Scotland-based pod, so we're gonna like them. But they've only qualified for 2 Euros. They got knocked out in the groups in both 92 and 96. Mm-hmm. Key player, could have gone for Scott McTominay, could have gone for Robertson or Tierney, but I went for John McGinn, who's been a key midfielder for Villa this season. Villa have had a strong season, and obviously he's a standout player for both Villa and Scotland. He's had a few good games for Scotland, and predicted finish, I said it'd be a massive achievement if they get out of the groups. Obviously they've never got out of the group in a major tournament before, but obviously if they finish third, they have a chance of going through, and I think they will finish third, but and still go through. And I have them going out in the round of 16 to Ukraine.
Right. Okay. I have realistically, right. I don't want to down Scotland because I do want to see them do well. I have got them going to the round of 16. I have, but depends how Scotland play, right? They could either, if I got them finishing third, right? They could either have a good amount of points. Or there's two ways that Scotland can play. They can play really, really good, like what they've been doing recently, or they could play really terrible. I'm confident that they'll go through to round of 16, but I've got them knocked out to Belgium.
Yeah, I think they would. If they play well, they'll get through the group. I think it all hangs on that first game against the Czech Republic. If they win that one, they're in a really good position.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they take points for England or Croatia as well, that's an even stronger position. But they should be focusing on that Czech game. If they win that, then they should be happy, and they should be able to get through. Obviously, that Czech game is their first game, so obviously all the pressure's on that one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the last team in that group is the Czechs, and
one of Andy's. Yes. So the Czechs reached the semis in 2004 and the final in 1996. Group stages in 2016 as well. The key player is Tomáš Souček. He's been fantastic for West Ham this season as they got Europe with. He's got 10 goals from a defensive midfielder. Andy's got them finishing bottom of the group. Might have enough to get something, but Scotland, but Croatia and England would be too strong despite the win against England in qualifying.
Yeah, I think the Czechs have a few good players. Obviously, they've got Souček, who's kind of a strong player for them. But they've got a few players who they haven't got as strong a squad as they've had in the past. They haven't got Rosicky, or they haven't got a Petr Cech. They've those players from the past have been and gone. So I don't think they're as strong as they have been in the past couple of years. Past couple of decades.
Again, this sort of relies on their first game as well. Same as Scotland. Whoever wins that, it looks like it will finish third. But yeah, we'll never know. Obviously, it's the Euros. Stuff can happen that you wouldn't expect. But yeah, I've got them finishing bottom as well.
Yeah, so it'll be an interesting one. That first game against Scotland on the 14th of June, which I think is next
4 days, mate.
Next Monday, yeah. So we move on to Group E, and that starts with Spain. And Spain were one of Marcus's teams. So Spain have won it in 1964, 2008 and 2012, as well as runners-up in 1984. They were knocked out by Italy in the round of 16 in 2016. And the best player... I think Marcus actually sent these in, so I think I did him. I've gone for the two Torreses. Pau Torres, who's had a strong season at Villarreal. Obviously, they won the Europa League. He's been linked with Manchester United and the big clubs in Spain as well at the centre-back. Obviously, he'll be linked up with Aymeric Laporte, who's obviously switched from France. As well, Ferran Torres, I think, has been earmarked as a player who can be the best young player at the tournament.
Yeah, I've got him in my team.
Yeah, he's had a good, strong first season at Man City. He's a young player. He'll be hungry to impress at Spain, who I think have a kind of weak squad. They only picked 24 players, and they've kind of been decimated by COVID in the past few days as well, because Busquets tested positive. But obviously, if the Torreses are out of that, they should be strong. I think I have them top in the group, and I have them going out in the quarters to England.
Yeah, I've got them second in the group. and I've got them playing England, and I've got them going out in the round of 16 against England.
Why'd you pick them second?
Because I think France will top.
France aren't in that group.
Oh, Germany.
It's
All right.
Spain, Sweden, Poland, Slovakia.
All right, never mind. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I need to have a look at their group. Who we talking about? Spain,
Spain,
right?
yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Germany. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got them. I've got them. Yeah, obviously top in the group. And I've got them going to the last 8 and getting beat by England. I think they'll play Wales in the round of 16 and beat Wales quite comfortably.
Yeah, I've got them beating Austria. I think they're a good side. I just don't think they're the same team they were in like 2008, 2012.
Yeah, definitely.
Not strong. I think Busquets is the only player that's still in that team that was in those 2 winning teams as well, because obviously Ramos wasn't picked. So yeah, I think they're a good team. I just don't think they're at the one of the world's best anymore. They should top this group. Move on now to Sweden, which were one of my teams in the sweepstakes, and they've only made it past the groups twice. They went on to the semis in 1992. They beat England along the way, but they lost to Germany in the semis. Best player, so obviously Zlatan Ibrahimovic was going to play in this tournament, but he's been ruled out. So I couldn't choose between Dejan Kulusevski, who's played for Juventus this season, scored 7 goals in 47 as a winger. He kind of plays on the opposite side to Chiesa. I think he can get a few goals. He's a good young player. Or Alexander Isak, who scored 17 and 34 in La Liga this season for Real Sociedad. They're 2 young players coming through, so I think they could be definitely ones to watch. Sweden. They've got a tough group, but I think they could progress, and I have them going all the way to the quarterfinals. I think I have them finishing second in the group, going to the quarterfinals, and losing to France.
Wow. I've got them finishing bottom.
Okay.
I don't think they'll qualify. I think the Polish team, obviously, they played against England and they look very strong. I think they'll finish second. I think the Slovakia team... I mean, it's going to be a battle between 3rd and 4th, between Sweden and Slovakia, but I've not got them good. I think Slovakia will progress. But no, I think they'll get 3rd, but they won't go through. But we'll go that later on. Just look at that team to go.
We'll move on now to Poland, and they were one of
Andy's
teams.
Yes. Right. So Andy's words, not mine. They got the group stages in 2008 and 2012, and they managed to get to the quarters in 2016. Obviously, their best player is Lewandowski. He scored 41 goals in the Bundesliga this season, and Andy's got him as the best striker in the world. Andy said that they should advance from the group, but around the 16 is probably the limit, which I would probably agree with him there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too. I've got them going out in the round of 16 to Belgium.
Yeah, I've got them going out to Croatia.
Yeah, I think...
But that'd be a good... I want to see that tie, though.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a cracking tie, that would, against Croatia.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, they've got Lewandowski, but... And I've also got a couple of players like Zielinski as well. But that team...
He's mainly their man.
Yeah, it doesn't really strike me out to... jump out to me as a good team. The Polish team.
It's a bit like Portugal. One-man team.
I think they've got a kind of a weaker team than Portugal. I think Portugal have a good team, but I think Poland not as good. I think, it's a tough one. But obviously they've got Lewandowski. They haven't really done well at previous tournaments. I think they kind of crashed out in the World Cup in 2018. I think they should have done much better than they actually did.
Mm-hmm.
But
it'd be good to see how Poland play, because It'll be interesting, definitely because of Lewandowski as well.
Yeah, he's had his best season as a striker, so
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he plays.
how he brings that to
If
the
you,
US.
but the thing is, you need to feed Lewandowski, or else he won't score. That's the main question. If they got players that can feed him,
Yeah, exactly.
soon find out, won't we?
And the last team in that group is Slovakia.
Yes, one of the lowest teams. Slovakia have only been to 2 Euros, finishing third in the group in 2016. Key player is, I can't say his name, Skriniar.
Milan Skriniar, yeah.
Skriniar, yeah. He's probably one of the best performing centre backs this season, and Lewis has got them finishing fourth in the group.
Yeah,
which, yeah.
I'd agree with that. I think they've got a few good players, but
I think it's going to be a battle between third, fourth between Sweden and Slovakia for me.
Oh yeah, I think Slovakia they're a team that they've just got Skriniar. I think Hamšík as well is getting old, but he's still in that team. But we'll see. We'll see how they do.
I've got them finishing third, but obviously not qualifying.
Yeah,
with third place. Yeah.
I don't think they've got a standout striker, and I think that might cost them.
Yeah, probably.
Yep, so we'll move on now to the final group, and that is the group of death. We'll start with...
Group of death?
Stuff of death. And we'll start with Hungary.
Oh, who's that?
So Hungary was one of...
Lewis's again,
yeah.
Yeah, so Hungary have only ever placed third in the Euros in 1964. They are without their key player, Dominic
Szoboszlai,
yeah. Can't say that, man. Therefore, it's up to Gulaski,
yeah, the keeper.
Gulaski to keep them to clean sheets if they want to survive. However, Lewis doesn't think that this will be enough, and Hungary will finish bottom of the group, which, with the rest of the teams, they won't qualify.
They're against some, strong teams. But I have done a madness, and I think they're going to finish third, but go out.
Who's you got bottom? Oh, we'll go on later. Don't tell me. Tell me. Find out later.
Yeah. I think it'll be down. I think they're a decent team. I think they could cause a couple of shocks, especially against some teams that will be low on confidence.
I think they might get a result against Portugal. That'll be it.
Okay.
If they were to get a result, because I think
the first game against Portugal is on the Tuesday afternoon.
It'll be an interesting one.
Yeah. We'll move on now to Portugal. I think they were one of mine.
Yes.
Yeah, they were. Find the document. There we go. So obviously they were winners in 2016, and they're runners-up in 2004. They've made the semi-finals 5 times in their 7 appearances at the Euros, but they won in 2016 without winning a game in normal time.
Wow.
I've got the best player as obviously Cristiano Ronaldo. He's obviously one of the world's best players. He's only 6 goals off the all-time international goal-scoring record. I think that's...
Wow, that'll be broken, I think, this tournament.
Yeah, I think Ali Dia of Iran holds... is that Ali Dia? Some Iranian holds the actual record at 109 and Ronaldo's on 103. So he could break it this Euros if he gets quite a few goals. They've also got João Felix and Ruben Dias, who have had... who've won the title with their clubs, and they've been impressive this season. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes as well, Manchester United. Obviously, they're in the group of death, so it'll be interesting to see where they finish. I have them going through as second place.
Wow.
I have them going out to England.
Yeah, 16. I've got them. Round of 16, you've got them.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they'll get to the semi-final. From the route that I've got, and I'll explain my route here. So I think they'll go through third, and I think they'll be one of the best third places. I've got them playing Netherlands in the round of 16, which I think they'll win. Then I've got them playing against Turkey in the round of 8, which I think they'll win. And I don't see them beating England in the semi-finals. so I think they'll make it semi-finals. I think they'll be happy with that. The current
The reigning champions, yeah. It's strange because I don't see them winning it again. Yet they've still got I think they've got a better squad than they had in 2016.
Yeah, but then they did pull off a shock last time.
Yeah.
So it's the Euros. Anything can happen. Scotland could win it for all we know.
Greece have won the Euro, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
Next up in the group, we go from the European champions to the world champions. That's France.
So yeah, that's one of Lewis's.
One of Lewis's, yeah.
So yeah, he's got the key player. I don't think he said. Oh no, France have won the tournament twice in 1984 and 2000. Their key player has to be Kylian Mbappe. He's a natural goal scorer and he was a golden boy at the World Cup in 2018. He has caught the eye of some of the Europe's elite clubs. Lewis has got them as overall winners of the tournament.
I've got them as winners as well, beating England in the final.
I've got them as finalists. They have a really strong squad, but I think if England do go through to the finals, I think it'll be a very juicy and interesting final potentially.
Yeah, I think France. I don't see a weakness in France's squad that could be exploited, and I think that's probably why I have them winning it all, because they've got so many good players. They've got so many players that even Laporte's gone off and went for Spain instead.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. I definitely want to see how well, obviously, N'Golo plays, can't he? He'll be interesting to play. Well. And obviously, that midfield, though, just looks really good there. Pogba. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if they won it, right? But I had to back England.
Obviously, Benzema's back as well, which...
Oh, right.
Which is even madder. But
yeah.
Apparently have
been mental like front three potentially or front two.
Griezmann, Benzema, and
Mbappe. Oh no!
Oh, that looks horrible. And they're going to be going against tombstones.
No, don't even remind me. No, I don't.
But yeah, and we'll finish this off with Germany.
Yes, I'll finish this off. This is one of Andy's. So. Germany, obviously the winners in 72, 80, 96, finalists in 76, 92 and 2008, and they reached the semis in 2016. He's got as the key player as Gnabry.
Yeah, Serge Gnabry,
yeah. He's been unbelievable at Bayern the past few seasons. Germany will be tough to beat if he's on fire. And his predictions, he said, tough group, but should advance. Could go all the way, but probably quarters as not strong as they have been previously.
Yeah,
which I potentially agree with that, to be honest.
I haven't finished bottom of the group.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Obviously, they had
I'd like to see that, but
obviously they had a really poor World Cup.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And I don't think much has changed between the World Cup and now. Obviously, they did try to change. They did get rid of a couple of players, and they called them back up for the Euros, so like players like Hummels and Muller.
Yep.
And yes, they've got some fantastic players, but they did get beat 2-1 by North Macedonia, and Timo Werner he's not scoring goals. He's getting in the right positions, but he's not scoring goals. And I think that could really cost them, especially against, Portugal have a fantastic keeper in Patricio. France have Hugo Lloris, who's a good keeper, and Hungary have Gulácsi. I think Germany's attack won't be able to, especially with Timo Werner up front, won't be able to.
Still be able to score. I've got Germany going as second in the group. And I've got them playing England, and I think they will get beat by England. So I've got them going out in the round of 16. Yeah. Obviously, I don't think if England do top the group, they don't want to play any of them. To be honest, Portugal.
Yeah, but I think going back to England, if they win that round of 16 tie, they're probably
that's big.
Yeah, it'd be a big win. Should take that confidence all the way through. But yeah, that's it for all the teams. We'll move on now to, you've got the final predictions for the Scottish Premiership season, haven't you?
Yes, so delayed this week because obviously I was on the last pod. My apologies, everyone. And I'm sure the boys are listening to see who the winner is. So I won't go over the teams as well. I'll go over it. Obviously, I would like to hear Marcus's. I think he said on the last episode. So we had. I couldn't tell you the teams. Breaton versus Kelty Hearts, which we all got that correct. We all got that 1-0 for Kelty Hearts.
Oh, nice.
Kilmarnock versus Dundee. Obviously, we all put a draw for that.
And Dundee won 2-1.
Dundee won 2-1, so no points for that one. St Johnstone Hibs, nobody got that right. We all said Hibs win. And obviously St Johnstone won. And what was the first one? Was it Greenock versus Ayr? I think I had.
Greenock versus
Ayr Dredonians. Yeah. Obviously that finished 3-0. And all yous thought it was Ayr Dredonians that would win. No, Marcus said it was a draw. You said they would win. And I said that Greenock Morton would win. So overall, this is the final standing of the Mars Bar. Okay. I'll confirm it on Twitter when we receive it. Can't spell it there. Lewis last with 22. Sam, you're in fourth with 54. Andy's on 50. No, sorry, my bad. I didn't arrange this. So Andy's in fourth with 50. Sam, you're on 54. Marcus in second with 64. And myself with 72 in the end. So, virtual Mars Bar, or the real Mars Bar, comes home. Nice. So, yeah.
Would you have, what was your final score, sorry?
72.
72.
So, I'll sort this actually, I need to sort this by descendant. But apart from that, yeah, so, very happy with the win. I'd like to thank everyone.
Nice, yeah. Yeah,
I didn't think I was going to win that, to be honest. I'm terrible at predicting stuff. I really am.
You ended up winning that. I think you were helped by people not doing their predictions at other times as well.
Yeah, very true. But I'll take what I can at this point.
Exactly. And I think we did a few predictions in the last pod as well. We had the Champions League final. So Marcus picked up points on that. He said a Chelsea win. And Andy picked up full points. He said a Chelsea 1-0 win. Everyone else with no points. Nobody got points for Netherlands versus Scotland. Everyone said a Netherlands win. And it was 2-2. Germany versus Denmark finished in a 1-1 draw. And Andy and Lewis got points for that. They both said 0-0. And England versus Austria ended in a 1-0 win for England. And only you, Kyle, got that right. You said 3-0.
Yeah.
We'll start with the Euros predictions. We'll do the first round of the group stage matches. We'll start with Friday's game between Turkey and Italy.
Oh.
See, I'll ask for the other ones.
Turkey beat Italy. Yeah, we'll get them all. Italy, I'm straight then. Right, so I'm going to kick this one off. I'm going to say 2-0 to Italy. I'm not going to back my sweepstake team.
2-0 to Italy, and I'm going to go with I think I'm going to go with 2-1.
2-1
to Italy. Yeah, I think obviously Turkey have a good team, but Italy are too much for them. The other game in that group is Wales versus Switzerland.
Switzerland, right? It's good either way. Really good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one to call.
You know what? If it's too tough to call, I'm gonna say one each. I think it'll be a draw.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw as well. I went with 2-2. I think
It'll be a tough one. It'll be a good one to watch as well.
I think both teams are kind of equally matched, so
yeah,
be an interesting one to watch. Move on to Group B now, and we'll start with Denmark versus Finland.
The derby there, no?
Yeah, a little Scandinavian derby, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't really know about too much about international football. So, um, I'm gonna say 2-1. No, 1-0 Denmark.
1-0 to Denmark. And I'm going to go with... I know I'm going to go with 2-1 to Denmark. And I'm going to say Glenn Kamara gets on the score sheet.
Come on, son. Are you writing these down? Yeah, you're
Yeah, I've
taking
got
them
them here. Yeah.
Right, cool, man. No worries.
Also in the group, we've got Belgium versus Russia.
Belgium versus Russia.
I'm
gonna say 2-0 Belgium.
Yeah, I think Belgium are very strong. Oh, is it 2-0? I'm going to go with 3-0, I think. Actually, no, I'll go 3-1. 3-1. I think Zuba could get a goal, but Belgium will be too strong for them. Austria versus North Macedonia is next up.
North Macedonia, Austria versus 3-0 Austria.
3-0 to Austria. Yeah, I think Austria did do well to kind of keep England quiet in that friendly. In fact, in this game, I'm going to go with
5 each.
5 each. No, but I am actually going to go with a draw. I think
Wow.
North Macedonia could pull off a shock here, and I'm going to say 1-1.
Enough.
And in that group as well, we've got Denmark versus Ukraine.
Denmark, Ukraine. Denmark 1-0.
Denmark 1-0. I'm going to go with Denmark. You know what? I'm going to say a draw in this one as well. I'm going to say 2-2. Denmark didn't look too impressive against Scotland.
Yep.
Scotland got to get the draw in that game. I think Ukraine are actually a good side, so I'm going to go 2-2 for that one. Move on now to England-Croatia.
Oh, right. Aye. Tough one. I think it will be 2-1 England.
2-1 to England. No, I think I am going to say an England win. I'm going to say 3-2. I think it's going to be a very close game. Croatia are a good side, obviously. Beat England in the World Cup semis, but England then beat them in the Nations League. So, yeah, I'm going to say 3-2 to England. I think they have too much for them. And then it's Scotland versus Czech Republic.
Oh, dear. Right. Do I say something bad here, or do I? Right, it's a tough one to call, as fair as. It depends if obviously Scotland play. If Scotland want to win it, they'll win it. And I think they will win it, so I'm going to say Scotland 2-1.
I'm going to say... I think I'm going to agree with you exactly there. I think it's going to be a tight game, but Scotland will win. I think they'll have too much for them. Poland versus Slovakia is next.
Poland versus Slovakia. Cheezo. Poland 1-0.
Poland 1-0. Yeah, I think Poland will win this one. I think obviously Lewandowski will be on fire. I'm going to say 2-0. And then we got Spain-Sweden.
Spain 2-0.
Spain 2-0.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a surprise and go with a draw and say a 1-1 draw. I think Spain, they've got Their squad isn't that good, so I'm going to go. I think Sweden are going to do well in this group. So yeah, I'm saying a draw between these two. And we've got Hungary versus Portugal. Now, these two sides played each other in 2016. I think it finished in a 3-3 draw.
Wow.
This time around.
Jeez, oh. Right. Oh. 2-1 Portugal.
Yeah, I think Portugal are going to win this one too. And I'm going to say 3-0.
Okay, right, okay. Fair enough.
I think Hungary, they're missing their best player.
Yeah.
Obviously, Portugal have got a lot going forward, the likes of Felix and Ronaldo and Jota. So I'll go with them. And then the biggest game of this round, it's France versus Germany.
Oh, don't. Obviously, Germany have not been very good. What was the last result? Was it a draw, wasn't it? Against like some random team.
Yeah, so they drew 1-1 with Denmark.
Denmark. Based on that, I'm gonna say. Oh, should I just say it? Yeah, 3-1 France.
3-1. Yeah, I'm gonna say 3-1 as well. I think France are a very, very good team. I think Germany.
They're very, very strong.
Germany aren't as good, and I don't think they have that much going forward, especially with Werner, who hasn't scored the goals you want him to score. So yeah, I'm going to go with that, and that rounds it all up. I think that was a long one, especially for the two of us.
Not too bad though. I'll take that.
Yeah, so that's everything for the Euros preview. We'll join you next week after the first round of games. We'll look back at the results and look forward to what those results mean for the teams.
Hope everyone enjoys the Euros. It'll be a good one to watch.
I hope everyone has fun, gets drunk, enjoys the football.
Oh yes, definitely, mate. Definitely. a lot of rum will be consumed.
It all starts tomorrow at 8 again with Turkey versus Italy, which is one to look forward to as well. So yeah, we'll see you later on the Euros. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
See you next week, guys. Enjoy.
The False90s podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, and our website at false90s.wordpress.com. For updates, follow False90s on both Twitter and Instagram. And a big thank you to Fransisco Aluear and his track Space Game, which is our theme tune.
I don't.
Yeah,
I can't really see.
Is there?
Can't really see on this.
You've got to scroll all the way up.
Yeah, I need to scroll all the way up in the chat. Lewis, you should have just made a document, mate. Come on. Fuck. No, he's not.
Yeah,
Am I dumb?
Yeah.
Am I dumb?